All right, all right, all right. Let's get to restoring this front bumper, baby.
My story is the story of a man who starts off at the bottom and with a bit of hard work continues along the bottom and finally ends up at the bottom. Hey, this is Classic Cars and Comics. Thank y'all very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's roll.
Okay, first things first, we've got to take the front bumper off. There's a couple bolts on each side and there's one underneath on each side. So I got that removed. Also got the other like protective plastic plate that says Jeep on it that sits right there in front of your grill. I got that removed. And here we're giving one more once over to the bumper before we start putting down some paint on this. Now I will tell you exactly what kind of paint I used on this and sort of what my thoughts are on it. It did not come out as black even though it was supposed to be black. It's supposed to be hammered black and it's a hammered finish. It really looked to us to be gray though, sort of like a darker gray. I'm not opposed to that, but my rear bumper is black and it has a texture to it. So we did a couple things in here. We did use this to get the texture right, but then we went in with like a matte or a flat black and then covered it in black so that it would match. Also pulled off my trim rings. Those were beaten, those were beaten, battered, sanded those down, got in here, textured them in that hammered black, did a couple coats on there, and then went back in and painted those later on with black. Also pulled off the license plate holder. It was really like sun faded and everything, so decided to go ahead and get in there and paint this as well. Why not? We're there and it's not a hard thing to do. No longer have a pink diff either.
I don't see it coming in and out. Through the back since we're already painted.
Well, let's see what the winch plate looks like. By 7 Blacksmiths, I guess. So this was an eBay buy. Looks solid though. Yeah, I know it's definitely heavy. Some big old bolts. They zip tied it down on there. That's good because this package was trying to give up the ghost on us. So I'll get it pulled out of here and we'll see what it looks like. So this is it mocked up. I was a little bit worried about it fitting down in between these bars right here, but I do believe it's going to fit perfectly, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty close match to the actual type of metal too, so I'm happy about that. It looks like it's going to actually go. So whenever it hits daytime or whatever it may be, I'll get back to figuring this out, because I'd really like to sort of paint this and get this looking a little bit better. You know, the unfortunate thing is, I mean, there is a little bit of difference. You can obviously see which one's newer, but I'd like to sort of have these matching colors.
Okay, now I'm going to pull off these horrendously bad looking fenders. They're just aged and weathered and they need to be taken off and painted. So that was a really easy process to sort of get in there and take them off. Not easy to put them on.
Okay, so my father repainted the one of the fenders for me. And the only thing I wish we'd have done different is never take it off. But I'm about to go through the painstaking process of getting that put on. I believe I'm gonna have to use a pair of these long needle nose pliers to get up there and hold a piece in to drill in there. So anyways, gonna get rolling on putting it back on and then we'll take a look at it.
Okay, it actually wasn't as bad as what I thought it was going to be. at least to get one of them in there started. I just took the little backing to one of these because there's only a few of these. That this one will go into like a regular top deal, but there's other ones that have these little plastic backings, and you just sort of put your finger up in, pull that plastic down to where you can get in there. See if I can do it. And then you just sort of hold it on the back side right there and just sort of run it in by hand. And I've only got one bolt in here right now, and it's holding that fender on. So it's not going to hopefully be as hard as what I thought it might have been. Okay, that one looks a lot better. Now I just need to clean the body and stuff like that, but man, that fender looks so much better. And I'm not going to tell you that it's a whole lot of fun doing that. I would suggest, and what I'm going to do on the other three, leave them on and just tape and paper around them. Put plastic over the wheels, and I'm just going to paint them while they're on the vehicle. I think that will have a lot less heartache to it. Okay, so Dad got in here and sanded the fenders. I just taped off this one side marker. I'm not going to remove it. He's already painted this one. We removed this one and painted it, and it came out really nice. So I'm not going to go through the painstaking process of doing that all over again. So we're taping everything off, and then we'll just paint them while they're on there. I'm going to use that textured paint again, and then just some satin black, and then probably get in here and paint this with some gloss black just to try to keep it from rusting through. It's where that plastic grate set or whatever that is that protects this. Okay, everything's pretty much taped up, papered up, and covered up for the most part. We'll just move the tarp from tire to tire, but we're about to get ready to spray. Okay, so we've got one coat down here. There's a couple back and forths on it, and I worked around to the other side. Now it does have a silverish color to it, and I knew that going in. We've painted everything else with this. We'll just go back over with satin black on it. Okay, got pretty much everything textured now, and just waiting for that to dry, and then we'll go back and put some old matte black on her.
Couldn't be happier with the way these turned out. These look really, really nice. I'm hoping that whenever I upgrade to bigger tires that I don't have to ditch these fenders, because they come out looking pretty good in my opinion. So I'm just giving you a walk around right now of sort of what they look like on there. I think they turned out really well. I still need to get the Jeep cleaned back up, and better to be able to show it off and whatnot, but this gives you a good idea right now how that turned out. Something's missing up here. Oh, this is it. Let's see what these could make it look like. Red makes everything better. Look at that magic. Gosh, like a boss. So I'd really like to repaint this. I haven't made up my mind yet if I'm going to try to pull it off of there or just tape and paint right there. My concern is that these would be rusted out, and much like my hood, be an absolute pain in the butt to get out. This is just metal, and I'll be texturizing these just like I did everything else. So let's get rolling to do something, I guess. I don't know.
Scrub, scrub, scrub all day long. Scrub, 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 wiping this on.
Did a little bit of light sanding. It is pretty smooth now. I'm just gonna take some alcohol and wipe and get this clean. Got a nice smooth surface to paint now. It'll look nice. That's a lot smoother. That rust had just really bubbled everything up. I'll watch this old alcohol disappear. Okay, I'm about to lightly sand the driver's side as well. I've already taken off the lights just to be able to have easier access and not to paint those. Now this side right here is smooth, so I'm just gonna clean it with some alcohol, but I'll get in here and sand this a little bit and get it prepped. Okay, I've got pretty much everything taped off that I'm gonna tape off, and I'm gonna start spraying to get these all the same color and hopefully look a lot prettier. Okay, I have a couple of coats of that hammered black on there, and then all I'm gonna do is come back in and put some flat black on there just to get it dulled back out a little bit, and then I'll put a clear coat on there and call it good.
Now, I'm not telling you that hammered black lays down the smoothest, but it does lay down pretty easy. It's not as easy to spray as that flat black that I'm using, but it is pretty easy, and I just like the texture that it adds. So that's why I've used it on everything, and it sort of keeps it a uniform look. This turned out really good in my opinion. I like this look so much better. I went with the flat black just to give it a little contrast, you know, and wasn't going to try to match up the paint. So just a little flat black after I did that hammered, and I really like the looks of that. May end up doing the mirrors at some point, but at least that's good for now. That terrible rust look is gone, so really like how that turned out.